Now, I'm a big fan of Google Sites, but one thing I've had people tell me is they don't like the font choices. Now, actually, one of the things I like about Sites is that it's pretty limited, so students don't get lost trying to make their site look just right. I like how the font styles are just a few, but if you wanted to change the headings, here's one way that I made mine look as an example. So here's the basic one, and you have some control over this because when you change the font style, it does change the look somewhat. I could pick a different template and it would look different. But if you want to put a little more pizzazz in the headings, here's what I did. So I created a blank Google Slides slide, and what I did is I inserted word art. Word art is like text that has all the properties of a shape. So for here, let's just say this was an About Me section on my website. I press enter and it makes the text with a basic font style. If you want to change the size of this, remember to hold down shift when you drag this because that keeps it in proportion. The size doesn't matter too much because we will resize it in Google Sites. So like I said, this text now is a shape, so I can control the fill color, I can give it a gradient, I can change the border color and make it wider, all the things you normally could do with a shape, and I'm going to change to this style for the font. You can bold it, italicize it, and so on. One thing that I always like to add is a drop shadow, and you can do that by clicking Format Options, and right here is Drop Shadow. If these options aren't showing, just expand this menu. That automatically turns on the drop shadow, and I like to make it a little more pronounced. So I'm going to increase the distance a little. You can see what that does is it makes it look like it's off the page a little more. And then I'm going to change the angle somewhat and just a little bit more blur. You can see that's how it looks now. I like that. So now you have to copy this and paste it into your site. And how you do that is going to depend on which type of computer you're using right now. I'm on a Windows machine, so I'm going to use the snipping tool. It's a free app that you can find in Windows. I'll click New and just draw a box around this. Every device has its way that it does a similar thing, so you just need to find how yours does it. Then I'm going to copy that and go back to my site. So making sure that I'm not on any one of these sections, I'm just going to do Control V for paste, and that pastes in that image that I copied. I can change the size of that. If it does this, just click this icon and it should straighten that out. You can center it if you want, you can drag it however you want to, just like any other image in Google Sites. And I can click in here and still add some text and move this underneath if I wanted to. Type some normal text down here. So that's how you can make some fancy or attractive titles in Google Sites.